Hello everyone, and the few hundred of you that are actually probably going to bother clicking on this video and watching it. You know, every once in a while you try to branch out and do something different, and some people like it, some people don't, but either way, I enjoy it, and that's all that matters. So the most underrated sports talker on YouTube, that's me, the Schleg Daddy here on Schleg Daddy TV, is going to do what I want. And today, I'm going to do another merch buy reveal for you, because I can't call it an unboxing video because apparently that's a big no-no for YouTube. It's not porn, I'm just saying. Well, it might be memorabilia porn, to be fair. Alright, so today I've got some Walter Payton stuff that I've bought, and it's Sports Illustrated. And to me, I've always had an idea in my mind that I was going to have every Walter Payton Sports Illustrated cover, every Michael Jordan Sports Illustrated cover, which is a bigger challenge because there is 50 of them. Part of the trick is, especially with Sports Illustrateds, to find those that do not have the labels on them, because so many people got them as mail subscriptions over the years. They put that stupid mailing label on them on the front, not on the back, of course. So a lot of them have labels on them that you see on eBay and in different collectible shops, what have you. Sometimes you'll see those that originally had a mailing label, but it's been removed. Sometimes the work is better than others, frankly, and you see a lot of residue or some damage to the front, sometimes not. So it can be a bit of a challenge. But with that said, I've always liked the cover art for Sports Illustrated, especially in terms of a display piece. So as I go along here over the next few months, I have a goal of getting as many Chicago Bears Sports Illustrated covers as I possibly can, hopefully all of them, and I will get every Michael Jordan related one. That's the big goal, is to get all 50 of them, including a couple of them with the phony art. Just to say that I completed the collection. I will humor and capitulate on that. But you will never convince me that Michael Jordan played baseball or especially played for the Washington Wizards. What a load of crap. What a load of crap. It's not true. It's conspiracy. And I've already proven them to be farces. But anyways, on to the topic at hand. And that is some Walter Payton Sports Illustrated covers. Now, to the best of my knowledge, there are 4 Sports Illustrated issues over the years. I think there's 5. At least that I know of, not counting commemorative or special edition ones. I believe there's actually 5 of them, including the one for Goodbye Sweetness and everything. And I just bought 4 of them. So let me show you what I've got here. And I'm going to go in reverse chronological order. The first one is Big Bad Bears. It's the December 8, 1986 edition, where you got Walter Payton on the cover, breaking off a run against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and there's Jimbo Covert behind him blocking. I'll say what's fascinating is going back and reading through some of these magazines, man, is seeing some of the ads from back in the day. Like the back cover of this has a freaking ad for Cool Mist, and as you go through it, there's all types of ads for cigarettes. Like, oh, here's a bunch of white people who love Newports, apparently, knowing damn good and well Newport wasn't trying to market themselves towards white people over the years. They know what they were about. They know what they were doing with those menthols. I'm just saying. But going back, and here's a story on a rebel with the cause. Look at that. It's freaking Jerry Tarkanian, the Shark, UNLV's head coach. That was a fascinating read. And I know they're dated stories and everything going back, in this case, 31 years, but man, they were absolutely magnificent and a lot of fun to go back and look through some of the things you could see. And again, I got this was part of a set of 4. I got all 4 of these Sports Illustrateds from the same person, and it was 25 bucks. So for me, ultimately, I'm not the type that cares that much at this point, nor do I have the bank account at this point to care that much if they are in mint perfect condition. I just want them to be in decent displayable condition, and all 4 of these magazines are ultimately in decent displayable condition. So there's Big Bad Bears, December 8th, 1986. Awesome. The next one, going back even more, the October 15th, 1984 Sports Illustrated, which features a cover story about Walter Payton breaking the great Jim Brown's all-time rushing record. You've got the advertisement for Salem's on the back. It's just incredible here. And as I went through and looked, like there's a featured story about freaking the torrent of death, talking about a bunch of caribou and a migration pattern or whatever the hell it was. And then you've got there's an old picture of Jan Stenerud. Look at that, just magnificent. And it says there's one oldie still getting his kicks. A story about Alabama and how they were struggling at the time, which again, this is back in 1984. And the biggest story I got a kick out of was a hockey preview for the 84-85 season. And look at a young Super Mario Lemieux, for my money, arguably perhaps the greatest all-around hockey player of all time, sitting there talking about the pitiful Penguins figure that they'll be a lot higher in the NHL pecking order now that their prize draft pick, Mario Lemieux, is in their nest. And truer words could not have been spoken. Just a fascinating thing. Like, here's an advertisement for Magnavoxes. Ooh, look at that. The old 40-inch console television, the VCR. I mean, just a trip down memory lane when you see some of this stuff. Just incredible. But again, the featured cover story about Walter Payton going up and over to the record and beyond. Anything else of significant note? Look at this Apple ad from 1984. Why every kid should have an Apple after school. Isn't that something? Look at that. And 3+ decades later, look at where the computer is. It's on your phone now. So that was awesome. And again, part of this set of 4 that I bought for, I think it was $25. And we got the August 16th, 1982 edition talking about Chicago's one-man gang. Look at the back ad talking about these old cowboys. For everyone who stands his ground, sun up to sun down, this bud's for you. Just fascinating stuff. Look at this old Tom Watson ad from 1982. Shortly after he won the U.S. Open at Pebble Beach with that great chip in at 17 to beat Jack Nicklaus. It's funny as much as anything else to go back and look at some of these old stories and everything else. I mean, and this was at the very beginning of the 82 season. So the Bears had just drafted Jim McMahon in the first round that year. They had just brought in a new head coach, Mike Ditka. So there's a featured story in there talking about McMahon and talking about Ditka and Chicago's one-man gang. And then Walter Payton's first Sports Illustrated cover, which to me was the prize package. And it's in okay shape considering it's over 40 years old. But again, ultimately, it's about its displayability, and I think it has great displayability. The NFL's new stars from November 22nd, 1976. Look at this back in the day, over 40 years ago. Look at that cover art, just incredible. And the cost of this Sports Illustrated, $1. $1. One of the things that's been sad, too, to me over the years as technology has taken a bigger foothold, especially on print media and journalism as a whole, is magazines just aren't as big of a deal. You have a lot of entities getting out of the print and magazine business, and that's kind of sad. Because to me, there's something to be said about being able to have magazines like this. To me, it's a much more intimate connection to the story, to the topic, to the subject matter, as opposed to just reading about it on your phone, your tablet, your laptop, your desktop, what have you. This is talking about in 1976, just to give you an example of the time frame we were in. You've got some talk about the free agent lottery is on, and number 1 signee Bill Campbell proved the players hold the winning numbers. This is back in 1976, mind you. And it's funny, they're talking about teams that were potentially looking to get into free agency, and one of the teams I didn't care was the Chicago Cubs. And back in that time, how true was that? But talking about let's see here, I'm trying to see, was Fred Lynn signed a 5-year contract worth $1.615 million, which included a signing bonus of $875,000. That's crazy. That was a big deal 40 years ago. That was big money. But again, looking at this is Walter Payton's first ever Sports Illustrated cover, to best of my knowledge, back in 1976, talking about the NFL's new stars, and there he was front and center, and how true this cover was and how accurate that story was. But anyways, that's what I got. So 4 Walter Payton Sports Illustrated covers. And I've just got to get the one that says Goodbye Sweetness and some of the other commemorative ones, and I'll have all of them. And probably in the future get some other ones too. Eventually you'll see them displayed in the man room somewhere, and I'll probably have them in the background, and they'll be framed up, and they'll look really nice. And I always feel like they look really nice when they're framed up and displayed properly. So there you go. Next time I will have some Michael Jordan Sports Illustrated covers to show you. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.